Are we live? Let me check. If we are live. Okay. Let's focus on this face here. Focused. Okay. Checking how long it takes. Most likely like 30-second delay. Alright, so what I want to do right now, what I want to study right now is, again, like we made this loosely, right? We made all of this loosely. We were not strict about copying, so most likely when compared to the original, this is going to have like maybe 40% or 50% off from the original. So I made this drawing before this stream, like as an example, like a simulation, right? Like a test. What if we already have a drawing? It could come from a grid method, or it could come from tracing, or it could come from freehand. So basically, what if we already have what we need to paint, and we want to strictly conform to all of this, to maintain the likeness that we want to achieve? What are we supposed to do then? So for the drawing here, I used a watercolor pencil, which unfortunately upon testing it kinda still bled out. So maybe without the presence of uh, the gum arabic, this thing will spread out. Because I was told that watercolor pencils will not spread out when layered with oil, but I think that's wrong. And this proof actually here that it doesn't work. So maybe we need gum arabic for that. So still, nothing beats fixing the drawing and then just layering it with acrylic medium, and then do a velatura to fix our drawing. So I've been thinking for a while now how to do this. Like I used to just paint everything using raw umber, but I don't want to use raw umber right now, but instead I want to try using green to achieve the result. So we start with the shadows. The plan is to start with shadows, and then if our shadows are in the light, we're gonna keep it warm, and if the shadows are in the shadow area or in the darkness, we're gonna use the greenish mixture. Let's start with that. This green is just a mix of phthalo green with burnt sienna, which will produce like this dull green. I'm gonna pick up like a thin amount here, just try it out first. So this would be in the shadow, so let's try it here. technically doesn't belong in the drawing because our focus is on the nose. I just got carried away. So it looks, I don't know how much we're going to lose here of our painterly style using this. And it's harder. It even becomes harder the more we try to uh, get the likeness in the photography or in the photo, the more we're gonna lose a lot of our freedom. But I guess the lesson to learn here, or the uh, the skill that we will be called to learn, is uh, how to depict shades, how to depict the forms without actually becoming like too precious about it. This is going to be a journey. I don't want to focus on the eyes here. I don't want to. I just want to put some paint on it, so maybe we can, if we want to move forward. But I didn't really draw this stuff here. I didn't actually try to be accurate here, so it's not going to be accurate. But the nose and the lips is almost like there. So it's just anyway, the principle again is just this is an exercise. So what if we have all of these guidelines now to follow? Should we consider them as limits? And if so, the question becomes, how do we artistically depict or say things within those limits, still make the portrait look good, basically. Not good, I mean look artistic or painterly. You can already feel the tension here. Not like yesterday when we were just like dropping paint all over. Right now it's a very different feeling. I feel restricted. So they say to use like a big brush, but I don't want to do that because we can always like, I want to focus on not I don't want to rely on the limitation of the tool, but rather I want to develop how I see things such that I will be able to depict forms regardless the tools in a certain way, because that's how I like you could say translate the forms. So one theory, I've been looking at photos on like those Chinese like way of drawing, right? And it's not like really Chinese because the Chinese are using Russian techniques actually. Those are Russian techniques to shade form in pencil, and I thought it was weird how they kind of like cross, like follow actually, like it's like modeling in 3D. It's like making 3D objects. They're kind of modeling stuff that way. I was thinking maybe that has some connection to how they would paint then later on if they were trained to do such a thing. So maybe when they start painting, they're gonna have those ways of rendering the form. For example, here, uh, we know that this would round out to here, right? Round out here. I already lost that light there, which I shouldn't lose as per rules, right? So what they would do is actually mark this thing like that. So it's blocked in like that. Okay, so now what were the rules again? Anything in the shadow would be green. Anything in the light, red. That means we're just gonna use uh, medium. Since our drawing is already red, we're just gonna use medium. And this is much more challenging because I could lose this drawing easily because it's movable, right? Unlike the method where you have like a fixed drawing below and then you can just erase if you don't like what's going on. This one require me to really be careful here, or I'll move the drawing and then lose it. So this was my first fear when I was started painting oil paint. Started doing oil painting. The fear was that I might lose the drawing, and though I am quite confident about my ability to draw, I'm not like 100% that I can copy exactly reference, especially for uh, missions. There's only so much uh, loss of likeness that you can do. Maybe 20% is big. It's too huge to lose like 20% of the client's likeness. Losing that much likeness would be like creating a totally different person. They kind of look similar based on the bone structure, because most of the time we're not gonna lose the bone structure. The details are gonna like show itself. So most the 20% will come from like minor shifts. Okay, so this is, I derived this from Leonardo's mindset when it comes to like his, before he does his imprimatura, he kind of paints on this watercolor base of uh, using reds and blues. So I took that as a hint, like why would he use blue, why would he use red in some areas, and I think he used that as a, like an anchor for his future layers. And if we use this blue, in our case green, on the light side, once we start glazing over that with like red or orange, it's gonna darken, it's gonna dull out that orange, and I don't think he wants that, or we want that either. Like for example here, right? The warms, as they turn, we don't want it to be too dark. So he kind of used that red to mark that area as a shape or an edge, and then he used red so that when he layers on later, it's not gonna turn dull. So I took that a lesson from him. Hello, May de Alexandra Barahona Moran. Says TYUAZH. So May de Alexandra Barahona Moran said hi. Okay, so hi, May de Alexandra Barahona Moran. Hello. I hope you're having a good day today. Or if not, then you should have a good day today. You deserve it. You deserve a good day today. Okay, so now I'm gonna use this green. As it mixes to this red, it's gonna turn black, right? Gonna turn black. Okay. So again, maybe one thing we're gonna do is avoid using curves. Like if we look at what we did here, we don't actually have a lot of curves. Like the curves are reserved for forms like here, right? Some of these edges here are not actually fully curved, though we can actually see a curve, it's not a clean curve. So now I can see this, I'm seeing the face here, and maybe we can do something about this later on. I don't know, it's a little bit exciting to see where we're going with this, but I think I know, because I've already done this before with acrylic. But we'll see, we're still in the underpainting, so to speak, stage. So, and still we are in this form here. So I want to keep it chiseled, underpainting. I want to keep it chiseled, and while still maintaining that the peaks and valleys here. By peaks and valleys, I mean like what I said before, like the as the curve turns, right? There's like it's like a maximum height of that based on the direction of uh, of the curve of the form. So that becomes the peak. Uh, as for the brush here, I'm using actually just a Temo brush. It's synthetic. They say the store says it's Black Swan. I don't know what that means actually. I'm just looking for something that's soft and synthetic. Like I have like those cheap um, sable brushes, Kolinsky sable quote unquote. I'm not sure. I haven't tried those like expensive ones, so I'm not sure what these are really Kolinsky from Russia, or maybe we don't really have those original ones. We can't have those anymore because I was thinking about it, and in the past, those were like old creatures, like adult creatures. Their diets might be different. Maybe their hair were a little bit more stiffer than what we have right now. And right now, I think in China they're farming it. They're creating like farms, create brushes. So it's called mink. I think it's mink. It's like same family but not the same animal. I think I have a mink brush, but I don't want to use it right now. I reserve it for like glazing and stuff. Right now, I don't want to use it. I don't want to ruin it because it's a little bit pricey for me. Even though it's cheap for first world countries, like for me, it's a little bit expensive. What I like about this synthetic is that it flattens out, so it kind of turns into this cat's tongue or dagger form. So I kind of like that. I'm using a mixture of linseed oil, liquid. So this is gonna dry, and this is pretty absorbent again. I created a gesso with additional calcium carbonate on it to make it more absorbent, but not too much. By the way, you can apply this to gouache. If you don't have oils, you can use gouache for this. Just that for oils, you don't have to like the paint would dry, right? And then you don't have to brush it out of the grain, paper grain. Just add this shadow here. Still using the green. to lift our form, our head here, to put it like pop it out. So I'm using green at the lower areas here just because, it's going to be a cooler area here anyway. Most faces, this is going to be a cooler area. So maybe what I'm thinking is maybe if I use the green here, it's gonna help. Like once we start placing paint on here, gonna influence the color and then just make it duller. Or this one has no color, it's just medium. You can actually do that uh, with your gouache as well. You can like just wet the paper just to see, to test out where you would want your shapes to be. You don't have to have paint on your brush every time. Okay, so now I'm thinking, okay, this is a pretty complex shape here, and I'm still staying within the lines. Let me use some green there because it's hair, and beneath the hair there's going to be shadows, but unfortunately we can't actually do that. I want to wash my brush. I'll just wipe it off, get more medium, continue doing this here. Most of these are going to be red now because we are in the light. Continuing that thought, right? We don't want to lose our warmth in this area. So we're just using medium to like wet the pigment below. I don't want to do that. I don't want to detail. Keep it keep it chiseled. Keep it chiseled. Okay. Chisel with I think that's the benefit of gouache is actually so easy to just bring it, pull it out, paint a little bit, then leave it out. Just have a bottle of like water or something where you can dip your pen. But I use like droppers like this. I have droppers like this for the paint to wet it, to wet the gouache, like the squares, right? So you wet those with a clean one, and then I have like bottled water where I could wash my brush. It's quite efficient paint like that. On the move, like you're in the doctor's office or something, like waiting in line or something, you can just pull out your mini notebook and then just really start practicing doodling out stuff. And you don't have to be shy about it because people are, there's so much exposed to it that it's not a marvel anymore. People, so they're just gonna ignore you. They've seen too many like YouTube suggestions for it's not really something new anymore. So people are not curious. So you can just paint. Where you are in the bus station, maybe not gonna matter. Back in the day, it's kind of something new to see like someone like painting on the bus or on a boat, right? You kind of glance over you and see what you're doing. Right now, it's not a big deal. Gonna actually try to pick up some color here. See if I can use that for here. Just to carve out this thing here. Bristle brushes are really loose, like it doesn't, like compared to like synthetic like touches every hair, like would touch the surface, right? Kind of more intrusive, so to speak. Okay, so basically I'm just marking it with medium right now. It's not really Not really pigment here, but let me see if we can pull out some of this. I don't have this red. I think it's a crimson red on my palette, and we're gonna see how this would affect our little project here. How long have we been? 35 minutes. My back is a little bit feeling the pressure right now. Have we? I think we've retained the forms here. The next challenge would be colorizing this thing. Actually start painting on it. Let me darken this area for a little bit. Let me try this brush. Yep, kind of scraped off that area there. Scraped off. Move those layers. Okay, so for your uniformity, just connect this shadow here. Connect them down to here, so I think kind of looks legit. Let me take a break, stretch out. And just, stretch out my back. I don't want to hurt myself. Let me leave. Maybe let's just continue this later. We've done the first part. Let's just end the video here on the stream. We'll do more later, so I can fix myself some whatever. For this again. So Almeida, Alexandra. Again, thanks for dropping by. And I'll catch you next time. Thanks for saying hi. Catch you later, maybe.